Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Have you ever spent hours, maybe even days, crafting what you just knew was an absolute masterpiece, only to put it out there and watch it gather digital dust? Yeah, we have all been there. If so, you are in exactly the right place today. Our goal is to completely demystify the viral phenomenon. We're stripping away all the rumors, the guesswork, and the snake oil, and we are looking strictly at what our source material reveals about the actual mechanics of going viral. And I promise you, some of these insights are going to directly challenge the common advice you hear every single day. So grab a notebook, silence your phone, and let's unlock the structured secrets to getting your content seen by millions. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The real truth about virality, 2. Strategies to win instantly, 3. Ways to retain viewers, 4. Algorithm and engagement, and finally, 5. Consistency is the key. Okay, let's dive right into section 1, the real truth about virality. It's incredibly easy to see a massive creator pop up on your feed and just assume they got lucky overnight. But the reality? It's rooted in calculated discipline. Look at this massive 90% slice right here. That is the biggest, most fatal mistake everyday creators make. They upload a single piece of content and then just wait around. They obsessively refresh their analytics, basically hoping for a miracle. Only this tiny 10% slice represents the creators who actually treat this like a real, structured process. And what exactly is that process? Well, the source explicitly defines the reality of the required workload. You absolutely must upload regularly. If you want to break out, you need to aim for at least 4 to 5 shorts every single week. Literally, let that sink in for a second. The actual secret to virality isn't some hidden algorithmic button, it's consistent weekly uploading. It's about feeding the system regularly, rather than treating every single upload like it's a winning lottery ticket. You've got to be in the arena constantly. Moving right along to section 2, strategies to win instantly. Now, all that consistent uploading we just talked about, it won't matter at all if you lose the viewer immediately. You have exactly 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and boom, they are gone. If your content is weak in these opening moments, you have already lost the battle. You must do something right out of the gate that physically stops their thumb from scrolling and compels them to stick around until the very end. Getting them to watch those crucial first 3 seconds often starts before things even play. Notice the difference here. Overly long and boring titles completely fail to grab attention. Nobody has time for that. Instead, you've got to use the winning formula: short, clear, and curious titles. You want to spark intrigue without giving away the whole plot, right? Get the viewer asking a question in their head that only your content can answer. Visuals matter just as much as your title, but your strategy has to adapt to your specific format. For long-form stuff, compelling thumbnails are an absolute necessity. I mean, they are the digital billboard that secures the click. However, for shorts, the strategy shifts entirely. Because they're served directly in a rapid-fire, endless feed, your first frame is your one and only hook. Make it highly, highly attractive. Now, what's really interesting about this next concept is how you keep the audience once you actually have them. Section 3. Ways to retain viewers. Getting an audience in the door is only half the battle. Getting them to actually stay is what builds a massive, loyal following. It's basically a masterclass in respecting the viewer's time. Step 1, cut all unnecessary talk. Seriously, no long-winded introductions, no rambling backstory, just stop it. Step 2, get to the main point as fast as humanly possible. Trimming the fat and delivering immediate value directly equals longer watch times. If you deliver value immediately, they are going to stay engaged. Retention is also deeply tied to relevance, but there is a massive pitfall you absolutely have to avoid: blindly copying others. The source material explicitly warns against direct imitation. You cannot just copy and paste what's working for someone else. Instead, you need to present current trends in a fresh, new way. Add your own unique spin and your own personality to those trends. That's how you actually captivate an audience and make them remember you. Let's get into the technical backbone of this whole thing. Section 4. Algorithm and engagement. Okay, so now we need to help the platform's automated systems understand exactly what our content is so it can actually find the right audience for us. I want you to mentally screenshot this exact formula right now. Ready? First, always include hashtag shorts and hashtag viral. Next, add exactly 2 to 3 topic-specific tags to accurately categorize your work. And finally, strictly avoid irrelevant hashtags. Seriously, spamming trending tags just confuses the algorithm, miscategorizes your work, and ultimately completely kills your reach. And remember, algorithmic engagement isn't just about views. It's heavily weighted on interaction. A super simple, highly effective tactic for driving those comments is to end your content with a direct question, something like, "What is your opinion?" Directly inviting the viewer to weigh in dramatically increases the probability that they'll pause, open up that comment section, and actually engage with your work.
Which brings us to our final and honestly, maybe most important takeaway. Section 5. Consistency is the key.
Everything we've talked about so far, they are incredibly powerful multipliers. But without this final element, you are basically multiplying by zero. Let this reality really sink in. Do not upload once and wait a week. Relentless consistency is what actually triggers the algorithm to work in your favor. When you provide regular quality content, the system learns your schedule, it trusts your output, and it literally forces the platform to push your videos to a much wider audience. The machine rewards reliable creators who keep viewers on the app. And that brings us to the ultimate, unvarnished truth directly from our source material. There is no magic formula to go viral. Good content, regular uploads, and retaining viewer interest increase success chances. Guys, it really is that simple. Good content, regular output, and viewer retention. That is the true, honest trinity of digital success. We've laid out the entire blueprint exactly as the source material dictates. We know the necessary workload, we respect the 3-second rule, we understand exactly how to hold attention, and we know what the algorithm needs in terms of clarity and relentless consistency. So, as we wrap up this explainer, the only real thing left to address is this. Are you ready to stop looking for shortcuts and start creating? Take these structured insights, apply them to your very next project, and let the process work for you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go make something absolutely amazing.